From a first grade teacher who's suing after she was shot by a student to a teen who beat his teacher to death over a bad grade. Is violence against teachers being normalized as an occupational hazard, or is there more to this alarming trend, if it's even a new trend at all? Let's dive deeper into this. Let's talk with the panel. We've got former federal prosecutor Pat Brady and Chicago journalist and radio host Anna Devlantis. Hey guys, thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
So Anna, I want to start with you. Is violence against teachers on the rise, or are we just talking about it more?
So I come from a family of educators, and I got to tell you, my mom worked in the Chicago public schools. My sister currently does. My aunts and uncles have worked in the schools. No, this has not been a part of life for teachers for years. They have not been under constant threat of violence or being attacked by their students. And it certainly seemed to be taken more seriously when it was. We see too many incidences of this. And I just feel as if all of the hats our teachers have had to wear over the last few years, mental health coach, life coach, parent coach, all while trying to educate students in the most difficult of circumstances. And now they have to worry about their personal safety. It's unbelievable. And it's unbelievably heartbreaking when I hear these stories of the real violence in some of these cases. It's horrible.
The one that really has stood out to me is the case in Virginia, that teacher suing her school district after her 6-year-old student shot her. The school district is claiming this falls under workers' comp. Pat.
Where are the parents? No, where are the parents?
Yeah.
Where are the parents now?
Well,
And I agree there is more violence, but when I grew up, the parents were respected. I grew up in Catholic schools. We got smacked around a lot, right? I've still got scars to show for it, but where are the parents in this? Even the both shootings, this was a conspiracy. This was not a heat of the moment type event. These two guys plotted for a couple of weeks, but where are the parents on all this? This increase in violence, I get the mental health components of it, but I just wonder where the lack of focus on parenting and teaching kids what's right and wrong and to have respect for authority figures.
Well, to that point, have generations devolved here?
Yeah, I feel as if, they used to have the time when the nuns would slap you over the wrist or they would beat on you a little bit. And Pat, you come from that generation, but maybe knowing you as well as I do, I feel like maybe there are occasions when you deserve to be smacked.
I agree completely. I deserved every bit of it. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't condone violence, but I do. But I just feel as if, so we've kind of swung the pendulum in the other direction, where now that there are fewer consequences for students who are identified as threats to teachers, who send threats to teachers, who actually have some sort of, who do carry out violence. And that's the problem. It's like then the teacher has to live sort of in fear of being beaten up in the hallway or being beaten up in the class, or worse, being shot while on a walk after school in a premeditated situation. It's just really, it's gone way out of control.
If I can, let me play the
good news is, Anna, though, I'm sorry.
Let me play the devil's advocate here for a second.
Now there's more of an awareness in the mental health component.
That's fair.
Right? Back when I grew up in the olden times, no one had a therapist. No one talked about any of these things now that actually can help these kids. So I think as bad as the development as kids are getting more violent, it's a very good development that we now accept the fact that mental illness does play a role in this. And these two events, and I was a prosecutor for a long time, these are some bad kids with some bad problems.
If I can jump in here to play sort of, hold on, let me play the devil's advocate here for a second, because people are saying, maybe this is just post-pandemic. Kids weren't in school for a couple of years. They were doing things remote. They were doing things from home. And some kids didn't have an authority figure while they were at home. So are people just more stressed? I mean, is this just that kids don't know how to be in school anymore?
I think that there is a lot to that. And it's a good point, because you look at 30% of young women have contemplated suicide over the last 3 years. You have an incredible increase in overdoses among our young men and teenage boys, doubling in 10 years. You look at kids are turning to these kinds of things because they're hurting inside. And there is an awareness, but as much as there's an awareness, we haven't found a solution. And certainly we don't have the resources we need toward mental health in these children. And they're crying out. They're telling us in some of these circumstances that I'm hurting, I'm in pain, I'm not well. And we see it. It's like this completely obvious thing going on in front of our eyes, but there are so few resources still. With all of the awareness that you point out, Pat, we aren't addressing it. We just are.
Yeah, the thing is, though, and I agree with the awareness, and I'm happy for that. But my dad was an orphan. He didn't have any authority figures other than maybe get smacked around by a couple of nuns. And he would never have contemplated violently attacking one of his teachers. So I do think that I get the mental health component. I'm glad there's been more focus on that, but there also needs to be more focus, just respect for authority. I think as a country, from the top down, We've lost respect for our institutions. We've lost respect for authority. We've lost respect for one another. And maybe that's partly a product of COVID. You know, we came through a civil war, a depression, and a whole lot of bad times in this country, and whole generations of kids were raised to productive adults that didn't go out and shoot their teachers. So there is a problem here, but I think it's not as simple as just a mental health component.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.